President Trump recently signed a $380 billion arms deal with Saudi Arabia. The first $110 billion of which will be used immediately, the rest spread out over the next 10 years. To understand why Saudi Arabia is so eager to sign this deal, we need to understand the geopolitics of the region. There are two major denominations of Islam, Sunni and Shia, and they historically do not get along. There are also two major military powers in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia and Iran. Saudi Arabia is Sunni and Iran is Shia. The two nations have engaged in a series of proxy wars, similar to what the US and Soviet Union did during the Cold War. These conflicts are currently taking place in Syria, Iraq, and most of all in Yemen, where the Saudis back the Hadi government and Iran backing the Houthi rebels. So what are the Saudis getting for their money? One of the major items included in the deal is the THAAD missile system. THAAD is an advanced missile defense weapon used to shoot down enemy ballistic missiles from up to 200 kilometers out. With Iran's long history of ballistic missile tests and development, the Saudis are interested in the system to counter the threat. Also included is the Patriot PAC-3 missile defense system. It's a newer version of the Patriot designed specifically to shoot down shorter-ranged ballistic missiles. The Saudis are also purchasing almost 200 M1A1 and M1A2 Abrams. The Abrams is a third-generation main battle tank designed for the US Army. Saudi Arabia has reportedly lost over a dozen of its tanks in the Yemeni conflict, which these newer Abrams will replace. In a possible conflict with Iran, the Abrams' toughest opponent is the new Iranian Karar main battle tank. While Iran has stated that the Karar is superior to all other tanks, it is highly unlikely. Iran has a long history of greatly exaggerating its military strength, like the Photoshop pictures released of ballistic missile launches and their so-called 5th generation stealth fighter jet. The Saudis will also be purchasing several new naval frigates. These frigates will be based on the Freedom-class littoral combat ships. These vessels are designed to operate in shallow waters, close to shore. It can be assumed that Saudi Arabia could operate these ships in the Persian Gulf, which separates Saudi Arabia from Iran. Saudi Arabia is also getting about 50 CH-47 Chinook helicopters. The Chinook can carry over 30 troops into combat and also transport heavy cargo like artillery and supplies to the front line. Despite its large size, it is also extremely fast. With a top speed of almost 200 miles an hour, it is faster than the American Apache attack helicopter. While Saudi Arabia is making this large purchase, it is not expected to further increase the possibilities of war between the two nations.